Hi, my name is Sean LaFlock, head performance coach at CrossFit Delray Beach. Today we're talking about the warm-up. Recently I've gotten a lot of comments and questions about what should my warm-up look like. Recently I've been playing around with doing different kinds of warm-ups with not only myself but some of the clients that I work with. One concept that I've been really trying to embed into my memory is this: if it's important, do it every day. If it's not, don't do it at all. Now this is a quote from famous USA wrestler and Olympic wrestler Dan Gable. He's one of the best wrestlers in US history, and if he says something, you better be listening. The concept here is that if you're doing something if you want to get better at something and it's important, you have to do it every day. If it's not important to you, don't do it at all. You're wasting your time. So, when we apply this to something like our warm-up, we can grab all the things that are important in general fitness and then apply it to not only our workout but also our warm-up. So every day we're getting touches on the things that are important. So for a general fitness enthusiast, there are some certain movements that are important to general overall fitness. First, we have upper body pushing. These include the horizontal and the vertical push. Things like push-ups for a horizontal, and then vertical, we're thinking something like a handstand push-up or a press. For upper body pulling movements, both horizontal and vertical, we have things like rowing for the horizontal, and then for the vertical, we have something like a pull-up or even a jumping pull-up. Next, we move into the squat. Any variety of squat applies here: the goblet squat, the front squat, the back squat. Anterior chain movements are things like sit-ups, GHD sit-ups. Torque and rotational movements are things that are turning the body, so ball tosses to the side. Grip is also a very important thing to general fitness. Things like carrying farmer's carries or even fat grip carries apply there. And then finally, explosive total body movements, things like the snatch or the clean. So now when we look at all these movements, we need to take into consideration what our workout actually is for that day. If in the workout for that day you're doing intensive upper body pushing and pulling in both the vertical and horizontal plane, then you do not necessarily need to focus too much of your time in your warm-up dedicated to those two movements. That will be covered in like your warm-up sets as you build up to the weight that you're doing for your workout. The bulk of your warm-up should be including things like the squat, the pull, the anterior chain movements, the torque, the grip, and the explosiveness. That way, when we get done with our workout, we've hit all these important movements in that time frame. Something else you might want to consider is also mobility. Mobility is also something you can throw into your warm-ups, and it's based upon what is important for the athlete. We talk about ankle flexibility, hip flexibility, lower back, shoulder flexibility. If these movements are important to you, you need to hit it every day. This is how you improve, and improve quickly. We'll show you how this works when we explain these warm-ups over here. A first basic warm-up here is someone who is going to be hitting some kind of upper body movement, most likely an upper body pull with also a lower body push. So this warm-up this basic warm-up will allow for someone who has a general skill level, not advanced. So we see 8 wall balls, right into 8 reverse ball toss, right into 8 rotating ball toss per side, right into 8 good mornings, into 8 burpees, and then you finish it off with a 1-minute death stretch per side. As you can see, you're pretty much hitting all areas aside from what you would be working on in your workout. You perform these movements into 3 sets, resting approximately 1 to 2 minutes in between each of your sets. Now for somebody who's a bit more advanced, this is actually a warm-up that I was doing the other day. I need work on touches with muscle-ups and pistols, and I also need mobility work on my ankles, and also my hips. So I started off with 6 muscle-ups. To most of us, this seems like a workout in its own. For me, this is actually a warm-up. 6 muscle-ups really isn't that intense for me. The 5 and 5 pistols are something that I need touches on, and I need a lot of them. So I'm hitting 5 reps per leg. 1 minute of bar on knees is next on mobility, followed by a 1-minute pull squat to open up my hips. I finish it off with a posterior / anterior chain movement, the Kang squat for 8 reps. I would rest approximately 1 to 2 minutes in between each of the sets, and I would perform 3 sets in total. As you can see, Both of these warm-ups only probably take between 10 and 15 minutes. Maybe like a 400-meter light jog beforehand or a 500-meter row, but that's it. If you're moving consistently through these two different warm-ups, it should take you 10 to 15 minutes, and you should be completely warm afterward. If you add that to the workout that you're going to do, which is approximately between 30 and 45 minutes, you should be getting your workout done in an hour. Now, I also get questions on when we warm up for barbell, so things like the snatch or maybe even the clean and the jerk. This general barbell movement gives you a ton of touches on different movements that are essential to those who are beginners in Olympic lifting. They include the power snatch, 8 overhead squats, 8 good mornings, 8 squats, these are back squats, 8 barbell row, and then 8 deadlifts. If you can perform these in concession, do this 3 sets, resting 1 to 2 minutes in between each of your sets. And this can only be with a bar or even a PVC. You're going to get a heck of a warm-up, and you're going to get a lot of touches on the movements that are essential and important for you. Now, keep into consideration 2 major things here. This should only take 10 to 15 minutes. If it goes longer than that, you've turned your warm-up into a workout. That is wrong. Number 2, this is relative to 1, the experience of the athlete, and 2, what the workout is. You should not be wasting too much time on movements that you're going to be performing in the workout anyway. And in addition to that, you should be not performing movements in your warm-up that are too intense. If you have 2 strict muscle-ups and you're trying to do 6 muscle-ups in your warm-up, you're going overboard. Maybe you could do something like 6 transitions or 6 jumping negatives from a dip position to warm up instead. It's all relative to the athlete, and you should be taking into consideration the intensity of the movements. Overall, this should be at about a 70% intensity, and you should be thoroughly warmed up after. If you have any questions or concerns about your warm-up, don't hesitate to shoot me an email or approach me in the gym. I'm Sean LaFlock from CrossFit Delray Beach. You can check me out at www.seanlaflock.com or come see me at CrossFit Delray Beach. Thanks.